I'll take two more questions. Sure.
I have a question about your characters. I was just reading a Tom Robbins book, and one of his characters mentioned an infinite goof, like this idea, and that's a lot of your characters, like, I mean, Charlie Asher and Biff, obviously. I'm just wondering, how invincible are your characters? I mean, could Biff have gotten into a problem that he couldn't have handled? I mean, you're making a sequel to A Dirty Job, correct?
Well, I think that I probably couldn't get my characters into a problem that Tom Robbins couldn't get them out of. No, he asked me about the invincibility of my characters, and you know that's the advantage of being a novelist is that you get to make stuff up as you go along, and particularly when you deal with the supernatural, as I do. So I can just Deus ex machina anytime I want. It's like, oh, I forgot to tell you he had superpowers. But I also try not to paint myself into a corner, and I am doing a sequel to A Dirty Job now, and one of the biggest problems, spoiler, is I have a 14-inch tall main character, and I'm like, someone's gonna notice that, So they're not invulnerable. It just makes it more difficult to solve the problem sometimes, and they get complex, and then some reviewer goes, this seems unduly complex. And I'm like, well, duh, he was 14 inches tall. Had to figure something out. So, and one more question. Yeah, sure.
Any movies in the works?
Oh, okay, two more questions. No. Is that a real dog? Oh, can I use that when I'm signing? Just wondering, I bet we could get 1,000 an hour. There's your dog back. Most of them have been bought or optioned and then forgotten about and hidden under a filing cabinet somewhere. I don't know. I'll refer you to my agent. He's here. They get really close, and then people explode, and I know it seems obvious to me too, but it's really interesting. Just because he is here, I remember when we sold my first book, I got an offer from Disney to become a screenwriter, and my agent, who is still my agent, said to me, well, you have to make the decision, are you a novelist or are you a screenwriter? And I said, I think I'm a novelist, and I went on to write Coyote Blue and then Bloodsucking Fiends and the other 12 or so books, and Practical Demon Keeping still hasn't been made into a movie, and it was sold in 1990. So good advice, Nick. And but it's also, I have control over that. The only reason I'm doing the play of Fool is they ask me, what do you want to do here? And I'm like, are you really talking to me? And with movies, you just go, they ostensibly know how to make them, and then they give us a bunch of money, and then I don't know what they do. Massages, tanning, I don't know. But so one more question, because that's really not a question. No offense. Although you did have help from the dog.